That brings us to our discussion agenda. Proposed revisions to board policy, field trip request shown in Exhibit E. You going to lead us with that? Dr. Melton.
What does that mean?
There you go.
Thank you. Okay. As you join me in Exhibit E, we are bringing forth to you, when I say we, Dr. Harris and I, we've taken into consideration Dr. Hefner's goals of his 10 goals for his evaluation with the decisions that we make and recommendations that we bring before all of you. And so the one suggestion we are bringing for you to review tonight regarding the exhibit for field trip policies is the addition of a nurse's signature on the field trip request form. If you recall, we revised this form several years ago in the process where all field trips are approved by the Chief Instructional Officer prior to any trips being finalized with details and planning. We feel like due to some of the health issues that our students are facing, we want to make sure that all people, all personnel have been involved with being aware of health conditions that students have. So whether it's a class that's going on a trip, whether it's a full grade level going on a trip, whether it's a small group that may be going on a trip, we feel it's important for the nurse to be aware of any students that are going on the trip in case there are any specialized health conditions that the nurse needs to make sure are taken into consideration before that group are to leave a school campus or school District 5 property. So as you look to the form, the only revision you're going to see is the addition of the nurse's signature on this particular form. Nothing else will change, Mr. Gant, with the process that we're planning to do based on our review, but of course we are open to any suggestions that you all may have.
Any discussion, concerns? Ms. Hutchinson.
I just want to say that that's very
Ms. Hammond,
proactive.
I'll come right to you.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
I applaud you for that.
All right, Ms. Hammond, you had a comment?
I was just thinking back. I guess the field trip plan, if there is, I was trying to see if there's any major change. I mean, I have my pack here, but I'll tell you what my mind went to. I was thinking about, like, when we have sports groups that are on trips. That's different than this, right? Would that be different?
Did she say sports trips? Yes, ma'am.
You know,
Those
like,
are.
say, a team, like a soccer team or a football, you know, whatever. That's not, if they're traveling for a game, that's very different than a field trip, right?
Yes, ma'am. That goes to the athletic director and the school principal.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure. I knew in the past we'd had a little problems about the clarity of transportation with that, and I wanted to be sure when we were looking at the field trip data, we make sure we have everything covered as far as transportation, and I see that in that form. But that would be my only comment as a board member. I know that not only our teachers would really appreciate being very clear about field trips, because there's a great deal of responsibility that teachers feel, or even chaperones, with our field trips.
Thank you, Ms. Hammond. Any other discussion? All right, well, thank you very much. That pretty much concludes our meeting tonight. We've had a great meeting and passed a wonderful budget. And I'm sure that the June 27th meeting, which is scheduled, is probably under consideration not to be held, but we'll address that at some point.
Address it now?
We could go ahead and address it. Do we need a motion to do that, or it's not on our action agenda? Well, we'll have a meeting a week from tonight. I think we had it, left it scheduled in case there was a budget conflict or something with the General Assembly. I talked to Mr. Bounds earlier. I think that we can handle it just by our normal posting, so unless there's something that, some reason you all know of. Okay, all right. So that brings us to item number 22, which is to adjourn. Do I have a motion? Ms. Baumgartner.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adjourn.
I have a second. Ms. Lovelace seconds. All those in favor? Just raise your hand. Ms. Hammond, what do you say?
Yes, I have 4 grandchildren that are waiting on me.
All right, go entertain them for a while. Thank you very much for phoning in.